Hello again. Today we're talking about subtraction. So let's say I have 8 minus 4. Well, if I do 8 minus 4, if I have 8 and I take away 4, then the answer is 4. So the answer when you do subtraction is called the difference. Okay? So let's say I want to subtract to find the difference between 57 and 32. Well, I do 57 minus 32. Well, I start with my digits in the ones place. So 7 minus 2 is 5. And now I subtract my digits in the tens place. 5 minus 3 is 2. So the difference, remember this is the difference, between 57 and 32 is 25. All right, 57 minus 32 is 25. Let's say I have 83 minus 57. Well, first I'm going to subtract the digits in the ones place. Well, right away I notice that 3 minus 7, I can't do that. If I have 3, I can't take away 7. So what I have to do is regroup or borrow. So I look at the 8 and I'm going to borrow 1 from the 8. So that leaves the 8 as 7. And I turn that 3 into a 13 because I borrowed 1 from the tens place. So I have now 13 minus 7. 13 minus 7 is 6. And now I have 7 minus 5, which is 2. So 83 minus 57 is 26. Let's do 71 minus 45. All right. So 1 minus 5. Can't do that. So I'm going to borrow from the 7. I'm going to turn the 7 into a 6. And then the 1 becomes 11. So now I have 11 minus 5, which is 6. And I have 6 minus 4, which is 2. So 71 minus 45 is 26. Let's say I have 571 minus 254. Well, we start in the ones place and we try 1 minus 4. Well, can't do that. So I'm going to cross off the 7 and make it a 6. Cross off the 1 then and it becomes 11. Well, now I can do 11 minus 4, which is 7. And then I'll do 6 minus 5, which is 1. Then I'm going to do 5 minus 2, which is 3. So 571 minus 254 is 317. Let's say I have 8,003 minus 2,657. Well, I go to the 3 and I do 3 minus 7. Well, right off the bat, I realize that I cannot take 7 away from 3. So I need to borrow. I go over to the 0 and I try to borrow from the 0. But there's nothing to borrow from the 0. So I have to go to this 0 and there's still nothing to borrow from that 0. So I go to the 8 and we borrow from the 8. So now the 8 becomes 7. And this 0 becomes 10. But I need to lend to this 0. So we lend 1 to this 0. So this 0 becomes 9. So that this 0 can become 10. But this 3 still needs to borrow from the 10. So we borrow from the 10 and it becomes 9. So that this 3 here can become 13. Now, the 13 minus 7, that's 6. 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 minus 6 is 3. 7 minus 2 is 5. And I bring down my comma. So 8,003 minus 2,657 is 5,346. Hope you caught that. If you need to, you can always rewind and watch that one again. And that's how you subtract.